everyone, I am Nishu and today I am going to cover the last topic of the chapter Human Reproduction, and your topic is parturition. Now children, till yet we have finished the topics related to your development of the gametes, then your fertilization, implantation, embryonic development. It means that we have discussed the development of the embryo and conversion of the embryo into your fetus. Now children, the time has come when your birth has to be described. Now children, during this parturition process, the need is to understand that how the birth of a child, how the birth of a fetus is taking place inside the body of the mothers and how they are expelled out into the outer world. So children, let us move to the topic that what is parturition. Parturition is a process of delivering of a child after completing 9-month gestation period. Now children, what is gestation period? Gestation period is a complete pregnancy period which is of 9th month. So the complete 9th month gestation period, when this is completed, then the time comes when your fully developed fetus is needed to be expelled out of the mother's body through the birth canal, and this process of delivering the child outside into the world is called as parturition. Children, this is a definition which has been mentioned in your NCERT book, that your parturition is a process of delivering of the child after completing 9-month gestation period. So this process is called parturition. Now children, moving to the second point, this term parturition has been derived from the word partirio. And what do you mean by partirio? Partirio means to be in labor pain. And you might have heard many a times that a pregnant woman is in a labor pain. What is this labor pain? This labor pain is a pain which is felt by a mother before the birth of the child. This pain is a signal that now the time has come when your complete fetus has been developed inside the mother's womb, and now the fetus needs to be expelled out into the outer world. So children, your term has been derived from the word partirio, which means to be in labor. This labor word can also be considered with the word delivery. It means that the time during the delivery of the child. Now, this complete parturition process, children, it is a hormonal process. Now, how it is a hormonal process and which hormones are playing important role in this, we will be discussing it little later. Now, children, this is a very important line which I am going to describe here, and this complete line, this complete sentence has been taken from NCERT book, your chapter Human Reproduction, from page number 54. This is a very important point, very important sentence from which your questions are being asked. Now children, the sentence says that the signal for parturition originates from the fully developed fetus and the placenta, which include mild uterine contraction called as fetal ejection reflex. This fetal ejection reflex, what do you mean by this? This fetal ejection reflex is a process when your uterine muscles, uterine walls are ejecting the child outside into the outer world. So the uterine walls have a receptors, and these different receptors receives the message that the time has come to expel the child out from the uterus into the outer world. So a reflex is created inside the body, and this fetal ejection reflex is a process you can consider when a signal has been produced by the fetal. Why the word fetal has been mentioned here? The fetal has been mentioned because this signal is created by the fetus, and the fetus give the signals due to which the uterine wall, the receptors present in the uterine wall, they get activated and they get prepared so that the child can be given birth. Now children, now the the sentence is saying that this signal is created by fully developed fetus and the placenta. From this the question might be asked that from where the signal of parturition is created. Children, the signal is created from the fully developed fetus. Along with it, do not forget the word placenta. Your fully developed fetus and the placenta, both of them give a joint signal to the wall of the uterus so that your contraction of the muscles inside the uterus can start and the child can be oozed out so that your parturition process can be taken place. So children, this was about your parturition process. Now I told you that it is a hormonal process. So how the hormonal process is playing role? Let us know that. So now children, let us look for the hormones, that which hormones are playing role. In detail we will be understanding in the later part, but now the basic important things which are required, I am mentioning those things. Now children, the first hormone, which is the most important hormone in the process, is your oxytocin. So oxytocin is the main hormone for parturition. This oxytocin activates the process of delivery of the child. Now oxytocin also helps in milk ejection. Now children, milk ejection is a process of ejecting milk after the birth of the child. It means that it allows the milks to come out of the nipples of the mammary gland so that the child can feed on it. So that ejection of the milk is allowed by oxytocin. Now other hormones like cortisol, estrogen, they also play very important role during the process of parturition. Now children, there is one more hormone. If you remember, I told you that the relaxin is a hormone which is secreted by the placenta at the last phase of the pregnancy, and this is that hormone, relaxin. This relaxin is secreted by the placenta and the ovary, which helps in pubic symphysis. Now what do you mean by pubic symphysis? Now the females have a pubic bone, the hip bone. Now these bones are joined in this way and they are broader. So this relaxin hormone allows the pubic bones to get separate, to create more space among them so that easily the child can be expelled out. So relaxin is secreted by placenta and ovary, which helps in pubic symphysis, which allows the expel of the fetus out from the mother body. So pubic symphysis is a term. Pubic is a joint. Now these two pubic joints are separated for a while so the child can be oozed out of the body easily. So children, whatever we have discussed till yet, it was the introductory part of the process of parturition. Now we shall move to the actual process, that how parturition is continued inside the body, how the process is helping the child to take birth. So now children, let us understand the whole process of parturition in detail. So what is parturition? We have just now discussed that it is a process of delivering the child from the mother's womb into the outside world. Now I again discussed that this whole process is a hormonal actional process. So this complete process is supported by different type of hormones at different times. Now children, what happens during this parturition? During this process, extensive contraction occurs And where does this contraction occurs? This contraction occurs within the uterine wall of the, and which part? Mainly the myometrium. It's not so that only the myometrium is playing role in the contraction. The internal part of the internal layers of the uterus are also playing important role during the contraction. But the main is myometrium. From the outside the layers are pushing. It is allowing the uterus wall to get contract. Now children, before contraction, before the parturition process, the uterus wall remains in a relaxed condition. And why this is in a relaxed condition? Because of the secretion of the progesterone hormone. Progesterone allows the uterus wall to be relaxed so that the complete developmental process of the fetus can take place properly. So during the 9-month period, the pregnancy hormone, which is your progesterone, keeps on secreting and allows the uterine wall to remain in a very relaxed condition so that the developmental process can take place. Now, but when the fetus has fully developed and the time of your contraction has come, when the time of the delivery has come, now your contraction is needed. It is very much needed. So a vigorous, so extensive contraction occurs within the wall of the uterus. Now children, let us see that how this contraction occurs. What are the factors which are allowing the process of contraction so that the uterus wall can expel the child out into the world? So children, what happens? You can see here I have represented the whole process in a arrow representation way. Now let us start that what happens. Now children, I have written here that fetal cortisol increases. If you remember the name of cortisol, I discussed it during the discussion of placenta, that cortisol is also one of the hormone which is secreted. So children, your fetal cortisol increases during the parturition process. So the cortisol hormone present inside the fetus, it increases. I told you that the signal is given by the fully developed fetus and the placenta. So now here the fetus is trying to give the signal. How? By increasing the cortisol hormone level. So when fetal cortisol hormone increases its level, then it acts on the placenta. When the fetal cortisol, try to understand that when the fetal cortisol, it is increasing inside, this cortisol is acting on the placenta. And when this is acting on placenta, it allows the secretion of estrogen hormone. Now again you will remember it that I have discussed this name while teaching the topic placenta. This was also one of the hormone which was secreted by the placenta, and it was allowing the full growth and development of the fetus. So children, when the complete fetus has been developed, after the fully developed fetus has been prepared, after that children, your fetal cortisol will increase. And when this fetal cortisol will increase, then it will act on the placenta, and placenta will start secreting the estrogen hormone. And what will be the effect of estrogen? So estrogen now, when here it will be secreted, it is going to suppress the secretion of progesterone. Now what will happen? The progesterone secretion will be reduced and its relaxing effect will be reduced. Now what do you mean here children by relaxing effect? Relaxing effect means, just now I told you that your uterus during the 9-month period, it remains in a relaxed condition. The wall of the uterus remains in a relaxed condition. So that relaxation effect has to be ended now. So this progesterone was allowing the uterine wall to remain relaxed. But now the time of the childbirth has come, so at that time your fetal cortisol level will increase inside the womb. Then this will act on the placenta, and placenta will allow the secretion of estrogen, and this estrogen secretion will suppress the relaxing effect of progesterone. Children, as soon as the progesterone relaxing effect is reduced, on the another part, estrogen starts a different work. So children, estrogen is playing two important roles in the parturition process. The first was that its secretion was suppressing the uterine wall relaxation mode. So relaxation effect on the uterine wall was reduced, and when it was reduced, as soon as it was reduced, here your estrogen induced the oxytocin receptors, and where this oxytocin receptors are present, these receptors are present on the uterine wall, on the uterus wall. Now let us try to understand this point. Hope children, this point is clear to you all. Now moving to this side, estrogen, when it has reduced the progesterone level so that your relaxing effect can be finished over here now, then here as soon as this relaxing effect of progesterone is reduced, here your oxytocin receptors are present. So this oxytocin receptors which are present on the uterine wall, they get induced. Now what do you mean by induced? They get activated. That, and why is this activation for? This activation is for the secretion of the oxytocin hormone. Until and unless the receptors of the oxytocin located on the uterine wall are getting activated, oxytocin hormone will not be secreted. And children, from where this oxytocin hormone is secreted? This is secreted from the posterior pituitary gland. You all know that inside the brain, anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary lobes are present. So your oxytocin is secreted from the posterior pituitary lobe. So from the posterior pituitary lobe, oxytocin secretion is stimulated when your estrogen induces the expression of oxytocin receptors present on the uterine wall. So as soon as here children, the estrogen suppresses the relaxing effect of progesterone, on the other side your oxytocin receptors get expressed, they get induced, and when they get induced, so your posterior pituitary lobe present in the fetus as well as in the mother, both the pituitary gland, posterior pituitary gland present in both your fetus and your mother, they start secreting oxytocin hormone. Now children, as soon as your oxytocin hormone starts secreting, the receptors present in the uterus wall, the uterine receptor gets activated, and when this uterine receptors are activated, your uterine wall starts your contraction process. So what do you mean by contraction? Children, this contraction process is very necessary for the expulsion of the child from the mother womb to the outside of the world. If you remember the structure of the uterus, this was your uterus part, and this was your birth canal, which was having your cervix, vagina. This was making your birth canal, and the fetus is over here children. The fetus is developing inside the mother's womb over here. Now children, what will happen? I'll again try to make you understand that inside the fetus, now when cortisol increases, now this cortisol activates the secretion of estrogen. Now this estrogen suppresses the relaxing effect of progesterone, and when the relaxing effect of progesterone is reduced, this uterine wall will be getting rid of the relaxed condition. when children this wall will be get rid of the relaxed condition, it means that now this wall has to be contracted. So for to stimulate the contraction process, estrogen on the other side activates the oxytocin receptors present on the wall. Children, this oxytocin receptors are present on the uterine wall. So, as soon as this estrogen, here your effect is reduced, this estrogen activates this oxytocin receptors. And this oxytocin receptors, as soon as they get induced, it gives signals to the fetus posterior pituitary lobe and the mother's posterior pituitary lobe, and they start secreting your oxytocin hormone. And as soon as the oxytocin is secreted, children, again on the uterus different uterine receptors are present. So as soon as this oxytocin is released, this uterine receptors gets activated. When this uterine receptors gets activated, the muscles inside the uterus, they starts getting contracted. So they contract. And what is a contraction process? What will happen? So so how does it help? It helps this child to move out of the birth canal into the outer world. So what will happen from here? From the top, the contraction will be starting. Oxytocin will be stimulating your uterine receptors on the wall, and they will be contracting the wall of the uterus. And when the wall of the uterus will be contracting, the fetus will be moving down slowly and passing through the birth canal. The child will be given birth to the outer world. Now children, here this process is a positive feedback process. This whole process is a positive feedback. Now hope you remember that what is positive feedback and negative feedback. Now children, to stimulate this whole process, oxytocin was needed. Oxytocin was a very important hormone for the parturition. So oxytocin was needed. So what happened? That the fetal and mother posterior pituitary lobe, it started secreting oxytocin, and this oxytocin activated the uterine wall to contract. Normally children, what happens? Once the level of the hormone secreted increases, now a negative feedback goes that now the level of the particular hormone has increased. Now our level has increased and now we don't want more hormones. But children, here it doesn't happen. What happens over here? Here the oxytocin is needed more. So what happens that is why it is called as positive feedback. So children, once the oxytocin hormone is released, your uterine contraction starts. Now, as soon as the uterine contraction starts, on the other side, your oxytocin receptors give signals to the fetal and mother posterior pituitary lobe to release more oxytocin. More oxytocin will be released, more your vigorous contraction process will take place. More oxytocin, more contraction, more oxytocin and more contraction will be taking place, and due to this contraction process of the uterine wall, the child will be expelled out of the body of the mother. This gives a huge pain to the mother, and to reduce that pain and for the easy expulsion of the child outside, more oxytocin is released. Children, this is why this whole process is called as positive feedback. Children, the same positive feedback process is taking place during the lactation process also, but we will be discussing it later. Hope children you have understood. I'll again repeat it again, that what happens that when your estrogen secretion here suppresses the relaxing effect of progesterone, your oxytocin receptors present on the uterine wall induces the secretion of oxytocin from the fetal and mother's posterior pituitary lobe. Now as soon as the oxytocin starts releasing from the posterior pituitary lobe, now uterine receptors gets activated, and when this uterine receptor gets activated, uterine contraction starts, and this uterine contraction gives a positive feedback for the more secretion of oxytocin till the child has given birth, till the whole parturition process has completed. Hope children, this whole parturition process was clear to you all. Now let us move to the last topic, and which is your lactation. Now children, let us move to the next topic, which is your lactation. And this is a process of producing milk after the birth of the child in the mothers. Now children, this word lactation has been taken from the term lactose, and this lactose means milk sugar. It is a type of sugar which is present in the milk. So from that type of sugar, the term lactation has been taken, and this lactation is a process of production of milk in the mammary glands of the mother. So children, after the birth of the child, your mammary glands start secreting milk, starts producing milk, and the process of production of milk in the mammary glands of the mother is called as lactation. Now you all know, we have studied before also, the complete structure of the breast of the mother or the mammary gland of the mother, and how your structure is made up, how the milk production takes place over there. We have discussed. So here in this part, we are not going to discuss on that topic, but what happens during the lactation, we will be discussing that. So during lactation, your production of milk takes place, not ejection. We will be talking about ejection now little later, but here it is a process of production of milk in the mammary glands of the mother, and this milk is fed to the child, newborn baby. Now children, this lactation process, it is also a positive feedback process. I have told you all when I was explaining about the parturition process, that generally everywhere your negative feedback goes on, but children, always remember that parturition and lactation is a process where your positive feedback goes. Positive feedback means more hormone secretion is needed to stimulate the process. As you saw during the parturition process, for the contraction of the uterine wall, more and more oxytocin was needed. So repeatedly oxytocin was secreted and the contraction was taking place, and the child was expelled out into the outer world, and relaxin was also supporting the process so that the easy expulsion of the child could take place. And similarly children, here also in this process also a positive feedback is created, and this positive feedback is created among the mothers. How? Because of the crying of the child or by the sucking of the nipples by the child. Now children, a very emotional feelings are connected between a mother and the child. As soon as the child is given birth, a very emotional, a very sentimental connection is created within both of them. Now for the ejection of the milk, this cry of the child, the first cry of the child, and the sucking of the nipples by the child of the mother, mammary glands, these two processes activates the mother's sensory senses, and this immediately gets very much emotion, and because of that emotions, the milk start ejecting out of the nipples and the child gets feeded up. So children, it is a type of positive feedback. Now let us understand in detail that how the cry and the sucking of the nipples and all are creating a positive feedback among the mothers to secrete the milk or to produce the milk inside the mammary gland. So now children, let us try to understand the positive feedback, that how your lactation process is giving a positive feedback by the child. Now children, just now I told you all that there is an emotional attachment of a child and a mother. So as soon as after the birth of the child, the first cry or the sucking of the mammary glands by the child of the mother. Now children, it gives an emotional attachment. It gives an emotional input. And this type of emotional input is creating and sensory input in the hypothalamus of the mother. And where is hypothalamus located? It is located in the brain. So the hypothalamus is here responsible to secrete different type of hormones. And to whom? To the anterior pituitary lobe and the posterior pituitary lobe. So children, this hypothalamus, it acts in two ways. One of the way that it is giving order to the anterior pituitary lobe, and anterior pituitary lobe is acting according to the order of the hypothalamus, and it is secreting different type of hormones. And the second function of hypothalamus, that it is also actually responsible for the production of different type of hormones like your oxytocin and vasopressin. These are the two hormones which are really it is secreted by hypothalamus. And the posterior pituitary lobe is responsible just to store it. So your oxytocin and your vasopressin, these are the two hormones which are produced by the hypothalamus and stored in the posterior pituitary lobe. Rest, everywhere all the other hormones are being produced by the anterior pituitary lobe on the order given by the hypothalamus. So that was not the point which I had to discuss here. We are moving on the lactation process, and I told you that it is a process of release of milk after the birth of the child. So what happens here, that as soon as the child takes birth, an emotional attachment of the mother and the child, it creates a sensory input, and that sensory input is created in the hypothalamus, and this hypothalamus is acting on both the lobes of pituitary gland, that is your anterior pituitary lobe and posterior pituitary lobe. Now let us move to the work of anterior pituitary lobe. Anterior pituitary lobe is activated by the release of secretion of prolactin releasing hormone. Children, always remember that hypothalamus releases a type of hormone called as prolactin releasing hormone. P for prolactin, R for releasing, H for hormone. So prolactin releasing hormone is giving order to the anterior pituitary lobe to secrete prolactin, and this prolactin is responsible for the milk production in the alveoli of the mammary gland. Children, this is a alveoli part. If you remember the structure of breast, that how the internal structure was made up of. So the internal structure of mammary gland was having alveoli. So this is an alveoli having a alveolary duct. So your prolactin is secreted here in the alveoli part, and the prolactin is secreted in the anterior pituitary lobe, and this anterior pituitary lobe activates the alveoli to produce milk. So milk is produced in the alveoli. Now children, the next part, that is your posterior pituitary lobe. This posterior pituitary lobe is responsible for the secretion of oxytocin. And where is this oxytocin secreted? Mainly produced? It is produced in the hypothalamus. So this oxytocin which is produced in the hypothalamus is stored in the pituitary lobe, and after lactation it is secreted and is responsible for the milk ejection. What do you mean by milk ejection? Ejection means to release of milk. So oxytocin hormone is responsible for the release of milk. And from where the milk will be released? The milk will be released from the alveoli of the mammary gland. So milk prolactin is helping the alveoli structure to produce milk, and oxytocin is allowing the alveoli to release the milk, and the milk which is produced in the alveoli will be released through the alveoli duct. Now children, this is how your positive feedback is. Now, as soon as the child cries or as soon as the child starts sucking the nipples of the mother, this positive feedback goes to the hypothalamus of the mother and it starts secreting the hormones, and in return what happens, your prolactin and oxytocin starts getting secreted. Your prolactin is responsible for milk production and your oxytocin is responsible for milk ejection. Now children, if you remember, I also discussed about 2 more hormones during the description of the placenta, that your estrogen and progesterone is also secreted, and it is helping the mammary glands also after the birth. Now how it is helping? This alveoli duct is functioning with the estrogen hormone and this alveoli wall is working with the progesterone. How now? How? Your prolactin was allowing the production of milk and oxytocin will allow the ejection of the milk. Now how the milk will be ejected? Same procedure children, this alveoli will be getting contracted. When we contract now alveoli is a balloon like structure. When we will contract the balloon, the fluid filled inside will ooze out, will come out. Similar process takes place here. This is a balloon like structure and milk is filled here. This progesterone creates a contraction. So because of contraction, this alveoli gets contracted, and as soon as the alveoli gets contracted, the milk is ejected out into the alveoli duct. Now when the milk is in the alveoli duct also needs to eject the milk out into the nipple. So this estrogen hormone allows the alveoli duct to get contract and the milk oozes out from the alveoli duct into the nipple and from nipple into the mouth of the child. So children, estrogen and progesterone are allowing the contraction of the alveoli and alveoli duct. Progesterone is allowing the alveoli to get contract and your estrogen is allowing the alveoli duct to get contract, so that the milk ejection can take place and the child can be fed. Now children, here one more thing, if you remember, I discussed when I was discussing about the placenta. That placenta was responsible to secrete one more antibody, that is your IgG. This IgG is a type of antibody and this antibody is released by the placenta, and this IgG helps in increasing the immune system, maintaining the immune system of the fetus. So the child could develop the immune system, could develop a good immunity. So for that your placenta was responsible to release an antibody called as IgG. Now children, along with this, after the birth, one more antibody is released and that antibody is IgA. And this antibody is released after the birth along with the milk of the mother. So where is this IgG antibody present? It is present in the milk of the mother. And especially children, the first milk which is ejected out from the mother is called as colostrum. The first milk which is fed to the child by the mother is called as colostrum. And this colostrum, it is a yellowish fluid which is having IgA antibody, and this antibody is also responsible to maintain the immune system of the child, to develop the immune system of the child. Hope children, you have understood this topic of lactation and parturition today. Children, now today I am completing the chapter, the whole chapter of human reproduction. Now I have tried to cover each and every point, each and every topic, and I've tried to clear your concept on the basis of the chapter what your NCERT wanted. Now children, whatever points I have discussed in the whole chapter, in all the parts of the videos, they are very important. If you go through the videos, if you go through the NCERT book, you will be getting, it is sure that you will be getting a good marks in your board exam, and it is also prepared on the basis of competitive exams. Hope children, you have understood all the videos. Thank you.